Okay, so what's up, guys? This video, I'm really excited. I'm going to be making my iVishal 7 2.0 program, which is basically going to be almost like sort of goal setting for 2026. Okay, I thought it would be fitting to make a video on this because this is something I'm going to do anyways, and also New Year's, so whatever. We can throw in that this is a New Year's resolution on top of it. If you'd like, feel free to do this with me. I'd highly recommend it. I think this is better than just like making up Diddy goals. But it's up to you if you just want to sit here and admire my beautiful, beautiful background. Feel free to do that. But with that, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to start is I want to define who I am right now. So who is current Ivan Shao? Or in other words, who is Ivan Shao 1.0? Okay? And do I have to explain it? I don't think I have to explain it. I'm going to explain it. Like, obviously, this is referencing, like, this whole point of this is to become like the better version of yourself, right? The 2.0 version of yourself, the newer, the like flashier, more improved version of yourself. So who am I right now? Who is Ivan Shao 1.0? And then we're gonna make a list of qualities. Who do I want to be? In other words, who is Ivan Shao 2.0? If you're following along, this is like you, right? Who are you right now, and who do you want to be? By the end of 2026, whatever. So we're gonna start. I'm just gonna be very brutally honest. Who am I right now? And this is something that I just had to do a little bit of like just thinking, right? This is just something you gotta know. If my hair looks weird, it's because I put oil in it. Can you guys tell? Because I want it to like grow back healthier and shit. Okay. Who is Ivan Shao right now? I would say I'm a decent hard worker. And another quality I have right now is okay, decent hard worker, but to contrast that, I'm still a procrastinator. So I still feel urges often, and if I ever yeah, this is something that's gonna take a lot of thinking. This video is probably gonna be on the longer side, I would imagine. I'm not gonna like cut it out or edit it. I'm just gonna like leave it as is. Feel free to do as much thinking as you think is required for this, okay? Because this is something that should realistically be taken like hours, be something that you like think about a lot, okay? And this is something I'm definitely gonna keep adding to throughout the next like week as I do just more like thinking inside my brain. Okay, so what do I mean by I'm still a procrastinator? I still feel urges often. I want to define this. I will feel urges, and I need to combat them using discipline. Still a procrastinator. I still feel urges often. I feel urges. I need to combat it. I still often procrastinate, and I rarely how to say this, live up to my own expectations. Albeit my expectations are very high for myself. Okay. This is kind of any way I can like zoom in. Yeah, that's a little nicer. Okay. So procrastinate. I really live, albeit my expectations are very high for myself. Like what other qualities do I have? I would say I'm not. Still has a little bit of social anxiety. So I'd consider myself quite the extrovert, but still like every now and then if there's a person I want to talk to, or if there's like an awkward situation, it's just like a little awkward. I just won't. I feel like I don't have that like nice flow, right? One of the big ones is who am I right now? Still has a bit of social anxiety. Actually, I lied. That's not really one. I was gonna say lack social skills, but that's not really something that I am right now. That's more something I want to be. You know what I mean? Okay, still has a bit of social anxiety, still a procrastinator, I still feel urges often. Rarely fully consistent. Hasn't ooh, that is not how you spell anything. That is not Jesus Christ. There's not an E, are you serious? Hasn't, rarely fully consistent, hasn't been consistent on self-improvement fully for more than like a week, 2 weeks, maybe. I think like 2 weeks, right? Okay. Let's see here. I want to add to the still procrastinating. You know what? I'm gonna organize this a bit better, okay? And I'm sorry for not doing any planning here. It's gonna be positives and then downsides. So we listed a bunch of downsides, obviously, but let's do positives first. I think I'm a decent hard worker. I think I'm pretty visionary and future focused. Like I know what's important for myself. I know what I need to work on, and I do often work on it, right? Shit, like this YouTube channel and like the businesses I'm working on. I'm fairly social. Okay, I'm not like a social recluse, so that's nice. I'm fairly socially active, and I'm able to, okay, like not to self-glaze, right? This isn't me self-glazing. This is just like establishing who I am so I can sort of know what direction to go in the future. I'm able to be happy without outside stimuli. Quite a whimsical person, I would say. Okay, so those are just some upsides and downsides. Shows a bit of social anxiety. Fucked. Oh, this is a big one. Fucked up attention span because of like all the scrolling and whatever. We build up these habits here, so it's hard to get rid of them. Fucked up attention span. Along with it, like still feel the call of the addictions and shit. Yeah, this sums up like the majority of my problems right now as it pertains to self-improvement, right? There's like spiritual problems as well. I could attain nirvana or something. Okay, this is the fun part though. Who do I want to be? Who is Ivyshot 2.0? If you're following along, who do you want to be? Who is the best version of yourself? I would say he has perfect control over his day. It doesn't mean he works all day, but it just means that he follows the schedule, right? And he like if it's time to work, it's time to work, and he has no problems doing that. If it's time to rest, it's time to rest, and he doesn't think about work over time. He's also fully present in whatever he does. So this follows the expression of like work hard, play hard, right? If it's time for work, work really hard. If it's time for play, play very hard. Don't think about work. So fully present whatever he does, perfect control over his day. I would like to say perfectly consistent, but obviously that's like a very hard to achieve goal. But so we're not gonna say perfectly consistent, very consistent with his goals, with his work, yada, yada, yada. Just some other qualities. I'd say perfect control over his day, fully present. What else would I like to be? Oh yeah, like I said earlier, right? Like better salesman is even one. Better salesman. More business orientated mindset. Okay, so I'd like my brain to be a little better at like business and shit, so I could like get rich and everything. I'm gonna bold these. I realize I should be bolding these. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna turn them into titles. Heading 3. Heading 3. Very consistent with goals, work, yada yada yada. Fully present whenever he does. I would like to say no social anxiety also. I feel no fear from talking to anybody. That might also be like a long-term like thing, but no social anxiety at all. Okay, so no fear of talking to other people at all. None of it. Okay, not a single ounce. And then if you want, like, you can look at your list of like cons and then just think about how I could fix them, right? So procrastinate, feel urges. Okay, I would really like, I think it should probably go like under here. Perfect control over day. I would like to not even feel urges to begin with. So essentially, be so good at self-improvement that the bad habits feel weird. The best example I can give for this is like when I was sick and I had a headache. Watching like really high stimulating videos or scrolling felt so like made my headache hurt so much, and the only thing I can watch is like really low effort, like low stimulating shit. It's just like I want to reset my dopamine levels so much, reset dopamine, so that doing bad habits and overstimulating myself actually feels weird. So I think this is a decent list, especially it's just a single year, right? Like the 2026 year. So it's like, come on, like, okay, it's not like I'm not gonna write like become a trillionaire. Ivan Shao 2.0 is a trillionaire, okay? It's just for 2026. Some of these goals I think are very accomplishable within a year. So I think what I want to do, because I did not plan this out at all, okay? I just knew that I wanted to make a 2.0 program. I think what I want to do now is, well, this is what I was hoping for. I want to make a list of actionable things. So I'm gonna make this heading 2 because it's a little bit more important. Actionable steps to take to become Ivan Shao 2.0. Jesus, it's my own freaking name, dude. Okay, can't be that serious. Okay, because I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to goal making, they'll make these grandiose goals and they'll genuinely want to follow them, which is awesome, right? You're like, who doesn't want to have perfect control over their day? Who doesn't want to be like a millionaire? Who doesn't want to bench 225, right? Or 315 because gymflation. But I feel like people rarely make any actionable steps. And when I say actionable, I simply mean just things that you actually like do, daily things that you do, daily habits, stuff you can implement into your life, right? Like, it's easy to say, I want to become a millionaire. It's hard to say, okay, every day I'm going to work precisely 6 hours on this business and then work like 4 hours on this business, yada, 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 SMB, some fancy crap, right? So this is why I think this part is important. If you're following along, definitely do this. Don't skip this. Make a list of actionable steps to become Ivan Shao 2.0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically summarize these, right? So just perfect control over my day, no urges. Fully present in whatever I do. Consistent with work. Better salesman. More business orientated mindset. No social anxiety at all. And obviously, you can add on to this as much as possible, right? This is literally my rough draft. Basically, across the next week, month, probably year even. I might still be working on this a year from now. I might think of more things that I want to be, and I might make more actionable steps to become said thing. But for now, we just have these 5, okay? I'm satisfied with these 5 for now. I can think of more later. I think what I want to do, and what you should do as well, is think about how you can go from Ivan Shao 1.0 to Ivan Shao 2.0. So it might even help to write out like what you are right now. So perfect control for my day. I still procrastinate. So basically write down who you are right now, right? And some of your problems. I still procrastinate. I still procrastinate. Oh my God, holy mother of selling. And feel lots of urges to do bad habits. And then I'll write a little arrow. So this is me right now, right? Me right now still procrastinates, feels a lot of urge to do bad habits. What I want you to be thinking about is, how do you go from this, to perfect control over your day, no urges? So fully present, whatever I do. Current me uses his phone while shitting and eating, and always double dopamines. So how do I go from this to, oh my God, dude, to being fully present whatever I do? Consider the work, procrastinates often, cannot get all the work scheduled done in a day. So I have my schedule and I schedule in work, and I often don't get all of it done. So how do I go from that to being very consistent with my work? Better salesman. I'm just saying no sales skills at all right now, because I don't have any, right? The skills, random thoughts are random. And then no social anxiety at all. This one's obvious, just like little bit of social anxiety sometimes prevents me from, Jesus Christ, from convos, from having nice conversations, to being no social anxiety at all. So I just want you guys to think, and this is something I'm going to do as well, how do I go from a person who still procrastinates and feels a lot of urges to do bad habits to getting perfect control of my day and having no urges? And obviously a lot of these are going to be tied to each other, right? If you have perfect control of your day, you're obviously going to procrastinate less, and you're obviously probably going to be fully more present in whatever you do. But just off the top of my brain, and I will do more research on this, I'm going to watch like YouTube videos and shit, but, well, actually I don't even know. But if I want to have perfect control of my day, I think something that needs to happen is I need to schedule every day. I need to be more adamant about scheduling and give my schedule more authority over my life, or in other words, integrity. This is just something that just like popped up in my brain, okay? And just a quick tip. The way you get better at like identifying problems and solutions is just reflecting every single day. Like if you just reflect every single day, you get so good at identifying the problems in your life, and even like the very deeper, like the deeper, like more, how do I word this? It's just deeper, like the deeper reasons as to why you do these bad habits. And then if you reflect every day and you're always trying new shit and you always make like learning goals, you also get pretty good at knowing how to like properly accomplish that. So I need to schedule every day. I need to be more adamant at scheduling, and I need to give my schedule more authority over my life, or more integrity. I'm just gonna erase integrity because it's pissing me off how it's like taking up 2 lanes right now. Actually, you know, I'll keep it, whatever. That's one thing, right? And let's think, right? This is closely tied to my night routine. So as a result, I must have a perfect night routine, because I schedule in during my night routine, right? I schedule my day during my night routine. So if I have a perfect night routine, that means I'll always be scheduling my day. So like you can see how like now I have something more actionable, right? Okay, I know that in order to have more control over my day, I should have a tighter schedule that I give more attention towards. And in order to do that, I should have a better night routine, or a perfect night routine, or a night routine that I follow more often, because my night routine includes my schedule. And then I feel like doing this just sort of takes your goal and grounds it into reality, makes it so that like you actually have steps you can take to accomplish that goal. And again, I can't iterate this enough. This is something you keep working on, okay? So this is almost like a rough draft. Okay, let's move on to the second issue, no urges, right? How do I get no urges? I think that's easy. I think it's just meditation. And the second one is, I think, being more bored throughout the day. And this also ties into being fully present whatever I do. Because meditation acts as like sort of a natural deterrent towards urges, and being more bored throughout the day is also going to lower your baseline dopamine. I think these two things are going to reduce the number of urges, and at least definitely the strength of the urges I get throughout the day. So meditation and being more bored throughout the day. But how do I actually like do this, right? Meditation is easy. I can just slide in meditation into my night. Oh shit, bro. Into my night and morning routine, which is already in. Meditation is already in my. So this is easy. But being more bored throughout the day. For example. Actually, you know what? Being more bored throughout the day, I'm gonna put over here, because I feel like it's more related to being fully present whatever I do. I'm just gonna leave meditation here for now for less urges, okay? So being more bored throughout the day. We're moving on to the second goal now, okay? So I feel like this is pretty decent. I feel like if I do these two things, I will get more control over my day, and I will get less urges. I can do more research onto more specific protocols later. Let's move on to the second one. I'm gonna bold these as well. Let's make them a separate color. Let's make them like blue. And then I can go like this and bold them as well. Okay. So being more bored throughout the day, but how do I actually do that, right? I'm thinking one thing is ban my phone while I'm shitting. Okay? And it sounds vulgar, but it's like, I think you know what I'm talking about, right? If you ever go to shit, you almost always go on your phone while you're shitting, and you just watch your phone while you're shitting. And this is like a good example of just not being like, even though you're shitting, you're still double dopamine. You're like, you're watching something and you're not just sitting there and being bored, and you're not fully present in shitting. You know what I mean? And it sounds vulgar and it sounds stupid, because like, why would you have to be fully present in shitting? But I think it's like a mentality. So ban my phone while I'm shitting. What else could I do to be more bored throughout the day? I could ban music while in the car. So I'm not allowed to listen to music in the car. I simply just have to sit there and have to drive. think that's another way I could be more bored throughout the day. The third way is doing a specific boredom meditation. It's kind of similar to normal meditation, except my eyes are open. I just sit in a fucking room and I do nothing for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I just literally sit there and I do nothing, and I don't even try and, because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go on a tangent. I'm gonna try and start thinking, right? I have to like not even let myself think. I simply just have to sit there and like embrace boredom as much as possible. So it is sort of like regular meditation, okay? Actually, it's really similar to regular meditation. In that note, I do want to add that in order to get rid of no urges, something else I could do, and this is a protocol I invented through reflecting. So reflecting is really important. It's called urge. I don't have a name for it. It's called urge meditation, but it's basically you sit around and you surround yourself. It's not really urge. Okay, hold on. I can do this. It's called like. I genuinely have no clue what you call. I'm calling it urge meditation. Okay, I don't care. And this also goes for both of these examples. Okay, urge meditation is basically you sit still, don't do anything, don't stimulate yourself, but you sit still with a notebook in front of you. I don't know why I'm typing it out. The feds are here. I'm gonna have to keep recording this a little later. The feds. Okay, let's keep going. If my hair looks even weirder, it's because I'm trying to get the oil out now, because it's been oiling for a while now. So it's very wet. I just had a lovely little intrusion. I had a wonderful conversation with a person I had not seen in a while. That was very wonderful. I enjoyed that a lot. I also figured out how to close the sidebar, so that's freaking awesome. Okay, urge meditation, okay? Basically, you sit still, you don't do anything, but your notebook is in front of you, or a writing app is in front of you, but preferably a notebook, a physical notebook, just because I think there's like novelty in writing in front of you. This is not like my invention, this is Hamza told me to do this. But basically, you're gonna get urges and you get thoughts, and every single time you get an urge, you just write it down. So when I did this, it looked like this, right? I just sat here looking like an actual retard, just completely zoned out of there, okay? And in the moment I get an urge, like the urge to play video games, or like the thought of a video game popped in my mind, the thought of me scrolling popped in my mind, I'd immediately go on my notebook, just got like, I'd look at the time, write down the time, and I'd be like, got the urge to play video games, got the urge to scroll. And I just do that. And I think the benefit of this is just like you really start to like be able to identify quickly what your urges are and like how you're gonna dismiss them. It just helps with reducing the urges. So this is something I remember that I can do. Let's see here. Be more bored throughout the day. Ban my music while I'm shitting. Ban the music in the car. Boredom meditation. Be fully present whatever I do. For example, yeah. Ban. This is a huge one for me. Ban videos and stuff while eating. So especially dinner. Okay. Like, have you ever? Sometimes we eat dinner, right? And it's like me and my whole family. And it's just like I see like my dad on his phone. I see my brother on his phone. I see my sister on her phone. And sometimes I'm on my, like, I'm not gonna lie, like sometimes I'm on my phone, but I'm a little better, okay? Like sometimes I'm not on my phone as well, and it's literally just like me and my mom just like chilling there. Everyone's just on their phone. It's just like, dude, wow, my hair is like really, what an odd texture right now. I just think like, dude, like, it's dinner, man. I should be fully present, okay? So ban videos and stuff while eating, especially dinner. Be fully focused during dinner. I think if I do these things, it's gonna really help me be fully present in whatever I do. Because, for example, work, I'm already fully present, right? Like work, I have cold turkey blocker, it blocks everything. And like playtime, like fucking when I'm reading, I consider myself fairly fully present. It's mainly like these things when I'm doing like two things at once. So yeah, these are some rules that I might enforce for myself to become Ivan Xiao 2.0, to gain the quality of being fully present whatever I do. Next one. Right now, I procrastinate often. I cannot get all the work schedule done in a day. I would like to be more consistent with work. This is one that might just require consistent practice. And the first two are definitely gonna help with that, right? Like the more I meditate and the more I do boredom meditation and the more I fix my dopamine levels, the more I'm gonna be able to focus when it comes to my work. So consistent practice regarding meditation and reducing dopamine. But I think one thing that I could do that's very, I should like sit consistently. One thing that I could do that's very, okay. one thing that I could do that's very beneficial to this is actually a dopamine detox. So this is an even greater form of like helping me get my dopamine levels to a more normal acceptable rate, so that way I could focus. Okay, because basically the idea is reason I can't the reason I can't get a lot of work done is because I can't focus for long periods of time. Okay, why can't I focus for long periods of time? My attention span is cooked. Why is it cooked? It's cooked because I scroll, right? Bad habit. Can I bite my tongue like a bad habit? I scroll, right? And because I scroll, my dopamine baseline is fucked, among other problems, right? So how do I fix my dopamine? How do I fix my attention span? Well, stuff like boredom meditation, stuff like regular meditation, urge meditation, stuff just like stop double dopamining. It's gonna help with making my attention span longer. How do I make my baseline dopamine better? These things are also gonna help, but a more direct way is a dopamine detox. So basically, I completely eliminate dopamine. Bad dopamine, that is, bad dopamine. I need to iterate this. Bad dopamine. I completely eliminate dopamine, bad dopamine, for a length of time. Now, there's two ways to go about a dopamine detox, okay? There's either like a daily way, and there's like a more extreme way, but you do it like less often. And so I might experiment with both of these ways in the future to come. The daily way is like, it's better to list an example. The example could be like, ban phones for the first 6 hours of the day, or like never scroll ever again. So just like completely just banning one bad habit, but you're still allowed to do other ones. You're allowed to do like play video games, but you ban scrolling forever. The idea of this is like then once you get good enough, right, you can consistently handle not scrolling. Then you ban video games. Then you ban like junk food. Okay, it's systematic. This is like the daily way. The extreme way is like live your normal life. And if you procrastinate, you procrastinate. If you end up scrolling for a little bit, you end up scrolling. But just like once a week, for example, or twice a week, 3 times a week, however you feel comfortable. No dopamine at all. Okay, so it's just like no video games, no scrolling, no junk food, no anything. Some people go really extreme. They even say like no reading, but I don't think reading is that like fucking mind like overwhelming dopamine. So I would say like you don't have to ban reading. But like there's these two methods, and I think these two methods are stuff I'm going to be experimenting with a lot the coming year to sort of fix my dopamine, okay? That's just the main thing here. I don't want to make this video way too long. I don't want it to be like an hour. So no skill at all. Random thoughts are random. And Ivan Xiao 2.0 is a better salesman, and he has a more business orientated mindset. A little note before I get started on this one. Oopsie days. Is that it's really something that's helped me a lot the last like week. Not fucking week. What are you saying? The last like couple of months actually has been that like if I ever have to make a decision in my life, sometimes it really helps me to think like, okay, just what would the best version of me do right now? And then sometimes that just makes it crystal clear, right? So, and because a lot of the times the reason you're hesitant in a decision is because your brain is going to make up all these bullshit excuses because it doesn't want to do the hard work. So I'm like thinking of doing work, but then my brain's like, oh, but we're tired and we're fatigued, and oh, it's just better to rest, and oh, but you didn't sleep that well last night. And then I would just think like, okay, well, what would the best version of Ivan Xiao 2.0? Well, Ivan Xiao 2.0 is more consistent with his work. He's fully present whatever he does. He has more control over his day, and he has no urges. And it's just like, oh, well, yeah, he would obviously get started with work. He wouldn't climb into his bed and like take a nap or something. So I don't know. It helps me. It's just a little mentality that helps me. If you want to think about it that way, you can as well. Let's get started. Okay. No skills at all. Random thoughts are random. One thing that I thought that could really improve like my sales skills is shit like cold calling, like door knocking for whatever purpose. Even even like direct practice and learning. So like finding like a sales course online, like a sales course or something, and then trying to applying that when I go cold calling or door knocking. Okay. Now this is a little weird to implement, but it would be really nice if I had a business that involves a lot of cold calling and door knocking, which I don't really right now. So this is something for like future me is gonna have to come up with, okay? Because I don't really have this right now. So what I could do is just like learn, right? I could do sales courses, I could learn shit. I can't really get that much practice cold calling or door knocking right now because frankly, like there's no like I could fake it, right? Like I could like make a fake like soap company and just see like how many people like would sign up or like how many people would be interested. That would actually be a good idea. Yeah, actually that would be a decent idea. Okay, like make a fake business or some crap and like sample the market by door knocking or cold calling, because then I just like improve my sales skills, right? Every single door knock I have to like make my pitch good. I have to be like, hey, I'm working on a soap thing, I'm trying to sell soap, it's not related to Fight Club, whatever. Some dumb crap, right? Shit like this would be cool. One thing I could definitely do though is learn more, right? Like sales course, a sales book. I could read more money books, shit like that. Let's see here. I think another way I could apply this is that in my job, right? Because I work like a service job. In my job, I could do a more sales role. Because right now, I just work there, and although it's like it's a very nice job and it's very near, and I like my boss. I know my boss, right? She's very nice. I feel like I don't do enough of like a sales role. So like what I mean is that like when a customer walks in, and then they're like, "Hey, I'd like this. This is my first time here." I could practice like, I could learn some sales things and I could practice like, okay, what should I say in this situation, right? Or what should I say in the future to make sure to turn this guy into a recurring customer. So yeah, this is something like that's also very applicable to me right now. I think I could do this really quickly. When it comes to having a more business oriented mindset, I think what I could do is probably think just I think analyze maybe three is a lot. Let's start with one for now. Analyze one big business a day. This is something my boss does, okay? And because my boss is like also quite like the business like eccentric individual. I can never spell analyze correctly, by the way. If she's always like looking at like case studies, like McDonald's, like just all these like big ones or something, and seeing like how they came up, what factors led to their success, and yada yada yada. And I think that's a really good mentality to have when it comes to getting better at business shit, right? And so analyze one big business day, I feel like is a really direct approach to gaining this skill, to becoming Amish 2.0. The other approach is more indirect, but because I'm no longer double dopamining, I'll have more time to think throughout the day. And since I'll have more time to think throughout the day, what I should be thinking about is business shit. So I remember Andrew Tate actually said this, and my boss said this to me like 2 days ago, which is actually kind of crazy. But I remember Andrew Tate said this 2 years ago, and the only reason I'm saying like this is because you might know what he's talking about, right? He basically said like, if you're always thinking about business and like why they do this, why they do that, or you're just like always analyzing shit around the world, you're gonna get really good at just like business in general and like knowing things and becoming like a better problem solver, right? So what I mean by this is like, for example, I would just look around and I'd be like, oh, Asus monitor. Well, what went into the design? Well, I can see there's like a flat thing. This is obviously for this, and there's buttons here. Are they easily accessible? Is there a better place to put them? I don't know. Maybe there's ways to optimize this, right? Compare this with my other monitor. What is my other monitor? It's by Dell. What does it do better? Which one do I personally prefer? I personally prefer Dell because it can move up and down like this, whereas the Asus one can't. But you have to admit, like the Asus one is also an older model. So it's just like always thinking about shit like this. Always just, oh shit, I completely fucked this up. Think about like business and just like think about why and how the world works. I think it's gonna help me gain a more business oriented mindset, help me become a better like business person, right? So, but this is obviously a lot more indirect approach. It's just thinking about business shit throughout the day. And if I want to make it more direct, I could say like maybe every time I gym, maybe like I have to analyze like 5 products throughout the day, right? So I look at this Tic Tac thing, for example, right? Like, oh, Tic Tac, oh, it's green. There's a leaf. The leaf is for the mint, obviously, right? Because they want to symbolize, oh, there's like white things coming out of it. That's to symbolize, like, you know, like the mint sort of like pops out of your mouth. Some, you know, I'm just like making shit up like bullshit, right? But just, you know what I mean? Maybe I start a protocol where I have to analyze 5 products of the day. I think that would be good, especially since I have more time to think. It might be something that's effective. Last thing, a little bit of social anxiety. This is the easiest. Sometimes preventing me, no social anxiety at all. I would say the easiest protocol for this is probably just talk to one new person every day. It's so easy, so simple. Okay, talk to one new person every day. Have a decent conversation. I genuinely, like, I can't think of anything else. Like, it's just that simple. Talk to one new person every day. Have a decent conversation. Yeah. I'm just like, really, what else is there? Talk to one new person every single day. Yeah, that's like a goal. And so you can see convictions. This is for a future video. This is something I had a conversation with my friend about at the gym, and then it's a very good idea actually. So I think this is good for now, and I think this is definitely good enough for this video. I'm definitely gonna keep working on this, right? But hopefully by like watching this video, you're either entertained, which I don't think you are because this is very boring, but maybe you did this yourself, right? I'm just gonna call it the Ivershot 2.0 program. I like it. I think it's like cool. It's like haha 2.0. I guess to reiterate, even though there's no point in reiterating, because if you're still here, you clearly watched the whole fucking video, and there's no point for me to reiterate. But to reiterate, who are you right now? Who do you want to be? Who's the best version of you? What are his qualities or her? And so then write down who you are right now, your best qualities, and then think about ways to become your best qualities from who you are right now. So these things, all the actionable things I wrote down here, are things I'm going to be thinking about when I make my calendar, when I make my schedule. Like maybe I add into my night routine of 10-minute urge meditation, right? Maybe I put up posters in the fucking washroom or something, like on the toilet bowl or some shit. I write with Sharpie, like, don't use your phone, to remind myself to not ban my phone while shitting. Maybe I could ask my mom, right, when it's dinner time, to if she catches me on my phone, she gets like $10 or something, right? Yeah, maybe I could start myself on a dopamine detox. Maybe every Friday I'm not allowed to use any video games. I'm not allowed to use my phone at all. I'm not allowed to use like my phone at all. Maybe not even like my computer at all. I just have to stay home and be like spiritual and go on walks and read and shit. Yeah, and then like these ones as well, right? This is something I'm gonna work on. This shit's ideally gonna get a lot longer, and yeah, this is just like something. And okay, I'm gonna make a video, I think, on some convictions I have. I'll explain that later. I just put it at the bottom so I won't forget. But yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about. If you made it this far, I imagine you're like a actual like fan of mine, which, you know, I'm grateful for. Thank you for making it to the end of the video. I wanted to like make a little note here. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make 2 channels, because I really like these videos where I just sit here and I yap and I talk. I think they're very relaxing, they're very freeing, right? But on the same hand, I also want to make videos that are like more challenging with editing, with like everything else. And I feel like they don't really I feel like they don't really belong in the same channels. Like, it'd be weird if one video's like this one, right? Like a 40-minute, I'm just sitting here, we're just talking, I'm walking through something, or if it's like a 10-minute yap session on my phone. And then the next video is like how to destroy your bad habits in 4 simple steps. And then like there's like fucking explosions and music and everything going on in the video. I think it'd be weird, and I think it wouldn't be good. Like, if it was just weird, I wouldn't really mind, but I feel like that would be really bad for the algorithm, right? Because I'd have a bunch of people who came to watch like some explosion shit. Mr. Beast, I chopped off 6 inches off my okay, what am I saying? That doesn't make sense. For every hour this guy I procrastinate, I chop off an inch off my penis or something, like some crazy shit. And then the next video is like, so yeah, yesterday I went for a walk, and then yeah, it was pretty nice. Like, you know, it just doesn't make sense. I feel like it would look weird. So I'm thinking I'm gonna make a second channel, and on the second channel is where I'm gonna post like more serious videos. because this one is like, it's you guys already, right? So I'm just gonna, and I've been posting like pretty chill unedited videos on this so far, so I'm just gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna be posting like more chill, more unedited content, maybe twice a week, and then I'll just probably just be yapping, to be honest. It might not even be that self-improvement themed. I might just be yapping just for like, you know, the shits and giggles because it feels good. And then the other channels where I'm gonna have like a lot of like the fancy schmancy, like the video I'm working on right now, which is can I fix my sleep schedule in 7 days? And we're just like, you know, more like a challenge video. So yeah, I just want to update you guys because if you made it this far, you're clearly you like me. So thank you. But you know, with that, I'll see you guys and I'll be out of your way.